Hello all, this is Charlene at the Scrapbook Workshop. Just getting ready to start on our craft, our Mega Make and Take. That is going to be a Dreamer gift candy box. As we get ready to start, just want to double check and make sure you have everything in front of you. First, we're going to make sure we have the things in our kit. They begin with a piece of cardstock that has words, quotes on it: be a dreamer, a doer, a believer. Then we've got 3 craft flowers that have been pre-molded in the Heartfelt Creation 3D shaping molds. We've got 1 clear glass pebble. We're going to have 4 blue feathers, 2 larger pieces of print paper, 1 smaller piece of print paper. We're going to have 2 pieces of cardstock. One is scored and folded. The other is plain and smaller. Then we'll have a word strip that says anything is possible. And we'll also have 2 pieces of ribbon that have been cut. Some people have orange, some people have pink. So let's go ahead and get started to check to make sure that you have the other essential needs that you're going to need. You're going to need some type of instrument to do scoring. You're going to need scissors, black ink, pop dots, glue, ruler, and a pencil. And my glue's on the other side. Let me grab it real quick. We may or may not use the ruler and the pencil. We just have it out just in case we might need it. Okay, so if you have everything ready, we're going to go ahead and get started. I think the first thing that we'll start on is the gluing of the flowers, because we're going to have to glue this pebble on, and it's going to take a little bit for it to dry. So I'm going to scoot all these things out of my way so I can get my work surface ready. All right. So let's prepare our flower. Excuse me. I'm using black soot ink, but if you see, I have a terrible habit of laying my blender tool on top of my ink pad, and so now you can't tell what brand of ink I have, but it is Distress ink from 𝐂𝐿. So we're going to take these 3 pieces. We're going to go ahead, ink the edges. You can get it as dark or as light as you want. There's different ways to do the inking. You can do it direct to paper if you want, which will give you some more sharper lines. You can use a blending tool such as this, which is from 𝐂𝐿. You can use cosmetic sponges. You can just use just about whatever you want. Okay, so now we're ready to go and glue the flowers together and glue the pebble together. And I've got this metal tip on here, and occasionally when it sits out for a while, the glue will dry down in there. So we take an ink pen and just punch it through there and get it unclogged. For this layer, I'm just going to glue them flat together. Hold it for a few moments, and then I'm going to put quite a good sized puddle of glue. I'm going to drop the pebble just down in there. It'll all turn white, but for the glue that I'm using, it will dry clear. And I'm going to scoot that off of the way there. When I get ready to put that second layer on, I'm going to put a pop dot on top of this larger flower. Then I'm going to put a pop dot underneath it. So when we get to put that together, I'll put that layer that I just glued the pebble to on top of this, and then I'll glue this on top of the box. So now we can take a few minutes and go ahead and ink all of the edges. So we'll just spend a moment inking the edges. I'm starting with the word strip first that says anything is possible. If you want to, you can glue this edge, but you may, depending on how accurate your score lines are, you may have to trim a little bit of it off. So I'm going to wait to ink that edge until after I'm done. I'm going to, this is the edge of the smaller sheet of print paper that we have. This is double-sided. If you would like, you are welcome to use the other opposite side of the paper, which has some really multicolored, bright multicolored flower feathers. To me, this is kind of soothing. When I watch YouTubes, it drives me crazy to sit and watch somebody ink, and this is all I can do to sit here and ink this, but I know that we're inking it together. Since you have your kit and you're going along with the steps, as I go along with the steps, that we're both doing this, so I won't let it bother me too much. Bring it in a little bit farther and give it kind of that smoky edge if you want, like it's been over a flame and the soot has settled on the paper. All right, so we have those two. I'm going to go ahead and ink the feathers. We're going to use 3 on the outside of our gift box, and we're going to use 1 on the inside. I really like making these boxes. Last portion of inking is we're going to cut these strips apart. This is where you can use a ruler and a pencil if you want. You can put your ruler just on each edge of these strips. We want to cut them into 4 strips. Then you'll take your pencil and outline it with your ruler and cut them that way. I'm not too worried about the edges being super even. Trying to cut them over there so my trash lands off of my work site, my workstation. All right, so you can see that I have all of those pieces cut. They go in the order of be a dreamer, a doer, a believer that anything is possible. I'm going to ink the edges of these also. I might trim this one down just a little bit more. 2 of these I'm going to pop dot when I put it on the box, and 2 I'm going to put flat. Trim a little bit more off of that side also. Just going to use the same technique. Since there's a white background of these, and there's a lot of white background on this paper, I'm getting a little bit more on the edges of these strips so that when we put them on here, they'll show up a little better. I'm going to trim some more off of this edge too. Okay. Looks like we've got all of the inking done. I'm going to move these pieces out of the way. I'm going to take our scoring tool. This larger piece that's folded already, we're going to take this longer side. I'm going to turn it to where the fold is on your right. And we're going to score it again at 4 inches. This first score was done also at 4 inches. So we're going to have about 5/8 of an inch in between these two score lines. It's going to be the top flap of our box. Moving my work surface all around. Score it. So this should be fairly even at this end. And when you open it, it's going to have that section so that we can set the box down in here. So let's go ahead and make the bottom part of our box. We're going to use the scoring tool again. And we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. On all 4 edges. I'm just going to pull these edges up. You can use your score tool. This is basically what is going to be considered a short box. You could even call it a box lid if you want. Okay, so there we go. We've got all of those scored. Now what we're going to do is I always do on each end the same. I'm cutting the same strip, and what I'm doing is I'm cutting the score line from this edge up to the score line that goes across, and I'm stopping. And then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do the very same thing on this end. Cut it right on top of the score line and right up to that edge that is cross raised. So now we can take our tabs and put glue on them. And glue them to the inside. You can see I'm just taking that, I folded that tab in, and where the glue is, I'm just holding it up. Just going to pinch it together until it dries. Same thing with this. I'm going to fold the tab to where it's going to go on the inside of the flap. We're going to put some glue on it. And pinch it until it dries. You can do the same thing on the other end. Sometimes your ends don't match exactly, but by the time we get it done, we can trim off the edges if you want a little, trim a little bit off. But we've scored this at a 1/2 inch, so this is a 1/2 inch tall. And the inside of the box is about 5/8 of an inch. So we are going to have a little extra leeway. Okay, so there's your box. Excuse me. Your smaller piece of paper should fit in here. And if this happens, which I did, okay, I scored this piece of paper wrong, so what I'm going to do is line it up. Since my paper trimmer's not close, I'm going to line it up like this, and I'm holding it, and I'm just going to trim the ends just like this. And now it should fit down inside that box. So if mine has a mistake, there's a good possibility that yours has a mistake. And you can do what I just did and just trim off the excess. Let's see if this will make it fit now. There we go. Still might need to trim off just a smidgen. So we're going to do it again so I can show you how to fix your mistakes. Take it up just a smidgen like that. You can see where there's just a small edge that's hanging off there. And we're just going to trim off that edge. Or I've taken enough time that you've probably had enough time to go get your trimmer and just trim that excess off. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and put glue on it. My granddaughter calls this, when she taught me how to glue, after she had been in kindergarten, she says, "Grandma, it's dot dot, not a lot." So that's what we're doing right now, is dot dot, not a lot. All right. Now what we're going to do next is we can go ahead and finish this inside while we're working on it. So we're going to mark this where to fold it, and then we're going to come down here and fold it in the same place. You can just see where I've made sure that it goes across there. So next, we're going to put glue on the back side. About a 1/2 inch is what we're going to cover. So position that about in the middle. And I'm going to turn it over and trim off this edge. There's some glue on it, so you might want to make sure that you don't get any glue left on your scissors, because that will mess up your scissors. If there's some wet glue residue left on them, they're not going to work as well, and you're not going to get as nice as a cut. So we're also going to work on this. I'm going to make sure they're fairly even across. I'm going to pinch it down. Give it a moment to dry. I'll do the same thing as cut the edge off. Okay. I need to cut that just a little bit closer. make our little bitty leaf. Excuse me, our little bitty feather. Called these leaves all day today. And we'll just put it right there. So now this is ready. It'll be ready to put inside the box that we have worked on. And you can put candy inside this. You could put money. You could take a gift card, wrap it up in some tissue and put inside here. You could put lots of little notes of thanks. So we're going to get this piece. I'm going to work on the bottom, and we're going to work on the inside. So we're going to add our ribbon, and I'm going to put glue on top of the ribbon. I'm also going to put a section of glue near the middle, or toward the middle as much as possible. I'm eyeballing it. If you guys have your ruler, you can measure with your ruler to see what the exact middle is. And I'm going to dot, dot, not a lot this with glue. It's important to glue your ribbon underneath these, so that way you don't see the end of your ribbon. Okay, so now I'm just going to fold this down. Put the glue on here. And I'm gluing this on the top. Then we're going to do our dot, dot, not a lot. And center that. We're not going to put anything in this section between the two folds. That's just going to be the book edge of this box. So I'm going to go ahead and I've got a pop dot on both sides of this, the largest portion of this flower. I'm going to set it over here. And you can see that my flower, you can still see white glue, but as that dries, it'll clear up the more and more than it dries. So we're going to set that on top of that pop dot. Now we're going to arrange these feathers just to kind of stick out. Kind of sort of like leaves if you want. I think I'm going to put them down here toward the bottom. We're going to stick them. Kind of hard to stick in there, so just I think we just randomly laid these out here. I'm going to put two pop dots. word a doer. I'm going to glue it down flat, kind of slanted. I think I'm going to have it right there. I'm going to have to cut my pop dot in half. I'm just going to cut it in half and put half of a section on this. All right. So there we go. We're done with the top. You have to be careful while your pebble is still wet. It's heavy enough that it could fall off. So just be careful with that. Now this is just going to position right here. And so I'm going to do the dot, dot, not a lot again. Go down the middle. And just move this around till you know you have it where you want it. I'm going to take the edges of my, I haven't tested these scissors to see if they'll cut, but I'm going to take the edges of my ribbon and cut at an angle. This is why we needed to test them to make sure they would cut through ribbon. So here's your box. You open it up and it's got your anything is possible strip on the inside. Be great for a graduation present. We're just going to tie this. And there we go. We're done. A project finished, and this would be a great thing for graduations or for a birthday, for someone who's been going through a tough time and they just need some encouragement, because it says anything is possible, and a believer that you're a dreamer and a doer and you can believe anything. So there we go. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope to see you in the next video. We don't hope to see you in the next video. We will see you in the next video and show you the show specials that we're going to have and how we made these flowers. So thank you so much. Hi, this is Charlene at the Scrapbook Workshop. Now that we're done with our project, I thought I would introduce myself and then show you our store. We're located in Blue Springs, Missouri. We're about 20 minutes east of Kansas City. So if you're ever in this area, go ahead and stop on by. This is when you walk in our door, this is going to be what you see. We have a lot of kits. We try to make unique items. You can see some of these kits. Anything you see, you can contact us and we'll try to mail it to you if you'd like. That's our favorite, or my favorite, is the watering can, and we have all different tags in there that have to do with nature, and they have some inspirational quotes. These are our little mason jars that we do, little banners that hang out of the mason jars that you can have around for the fall. Let's step over here and look at some of this stuff. We do a lot of banners. Our customers like banners. So do I. We'll come over here, and this is a Christmas Advent calendar. We put little bags in there. You can put candy in there, but we also, if you purchase this kit, we have the story of Christmas typed up in 25 sections, and you can put one section in each of the little bags along with candy, and you can read them and talk about the story of Christmas as you go by if you want. This is a Christmas growth chart. So if you want to have this, get this out at Christmas, make it up and get it out every Christmas and measure the kids. It's a fun thing to get involved with. And we have kits for that. So now we're just going to go through our store and just let you see kind of what it looks like here. We have newly renovated our store through the COVID, this season of our life through COVID. We were shut down from toward the end of March until June. So we took that time to go ahead and renovate the store. We boxed everything up. We had 2,400 square feet that we were going to renovate. So we boxed everything up and pushed it all to one side. We took down 3 walls and we built a new wall because we separated our space from, we put half on one side as retail and the other half is a new crop area. It's 1,200 square feet. It fits 20 people. We can fit 24, but we like to have a couple tables left so that we can put the food buffet, or we can do make and takes or demos, that we have some room to do some projects if we need to. We're not all fit in there like sardines. We want to have some room. We have signs like this throughout our store. We try to work at it to make it interactive so that when you come in the store you learn. Please remember as I show this around that we have newly renovated. As you can see, there's the cleaning stuff. All right, this is a new wall. This wall that I'm going to show you is called our die-cut diner wall. And it's designed to, we've got die cuts that help you design your pages so that you can come across and just grab little pieces here and there, especially if you're cropping and you don't want to buy a whole package full of stuff that you're not going to use. We have little bits and pieces of things that you can decorate frames. There's some buttons, and here's some flourishes, all different colors and sizes. We sell little bows by the piece. There's some photo anchors, some photo corners, some tags and frames that we do. Here's our embellishments, flowers you can buy by the piece. These are little resin buttons, decorative pieces. And we also have titles. We cut these frames. We make different frames that you can use on your pages, and all of this is designed to embellish those frames if you like. We have these little pieces that you can add, and then we have all these different titles that you can just buy a title in different colors. We make a lot of die cuts. These die cuts that we have down here are for the specific schools that we have in this area. And then we do some of our own die cuts for different occasions or different seasons. Here's a little sun guy that we've done. We have lots of them throughout the store. Here's our journaling section, so you can grab a tag or a library pocket or a pen and just get that journaling done. I encourage everybody, there's some firefighter die cuts that we do. We do a lot of school die cuts. All of this that you see, prom and grad night and homecoming, we've done those. These are for schools, for school days. There's the grades. And then here's some for graduation that we've done. We do kits also. This is picking up kind of blurry, and I apologize. We're going to walk on over to our new crop area so I can show you what it looks like. Like I said, it's a mess. We're just finishing, we're moving into it and getting it all ready. So it's 1,200 square feet. Again, we can hold 20 people. I don't even have the walls decorated yet. There's some of our tables and stuff, and trash cans and vacuum cleaner. And these are all the projects that I'm going to talk to you about here shortly to let you know what we do in the store, what we offer on a monthly basis. These pieces of paper on the floor represent tables, so we have it spaced off. That's our buffet, our food buffet table. And right now it's a buffet of stuff. Excuse me. So we're going to walk over here. We're going to talk about one of the first projects that we're offering on a monthly basis. We're going to use Heartfelt Creations products. We're going to use their new release. One of the products that we're going to offer is the paper pad. We're going to take it and make 2 scrapbook page kits from it. We're also going to make tag kits from it, and then we're going to make card kits from it. And you can buy the kits with the product. We're going to be offering those on every month. About the time that they offer their new release, we should have ours done. Then over here, we started a monthly kit in April. This is our recipe pages. I'm going to get up here closer. Every month you'll have the opportunity to purchase a monthly kit. It consists of a divider page, that would be this crock pot page. Then it has a blank page so you can add recipes that you might be your favorite. You might have grandma's recipe or mom's recipe, or you may have a recipe that you've tweaked that you like, and that page is provided so that you can add your own. Then there'll be one pre-printed, pre-selected recipe, and that's the lumpy dip. Is what I chose this month to do. So that's going to be your monthly kit. Then we also have a add-on kit for the monthly kit if you want to get 6 instead of 3. On these kits, they're pre-printed, pre-selected, and you'll get all the pieces. You'll get a color copy, any instructions that you may need. Sometimes it's just putting it together like the picture. But occasionally, like on this Chinese cabbage salad, you'll need to know how to fold that little kimono, I think is what it's called, the little dress there. So this is what you will get on the add-on kit when you choose to get add-on kits. There'll be just 3 recipes, not divider page, not blank page. It will be a divider page. So we're going to go over here and look at this. Before COVID, we offered weekly card classes. We broke that down to every other week. We have classes now. So this is the class we had last week. We did some technique stuff with the snow. It's a little hard to teach classes right now because if we do heat embossing, die cutting in the class, different things, different tools, we have to be careful not to pass germs back and forth with the tool. So at this point, I'm trying to teach classes that we do not have to use tools on, or that the people in class could bring their own tools. So that's another set of cards that we did. That was maybe 4 weeks ago, I think. We post our cards to Facebook. Any classes that we have, we post to Facebook. So you can go back and look at our stuff. We have a recipe club that meets once a month that does recipes. But a lot of times we step off the pages and do other projects. For I think it was last January or maybe last December, we did this project. It took about 3 weeks to do. It's a magnetic perpetual calendar. April and the bunnies that are in the back of the truck, those are all magnetic, so the month can be changed out, and what's in the back of the truck can be changed out. The truck is stationary. The letters SMTWTFS, Those are stationary, but the numbers are magnetic so that you can move them around to correspond with the number of the months that you see. I'm going to give you a view of all of the pieces. This is a kit that's available, and this is all of the pieces that come in the kit. You'll have to assemble them, but you'll get the pieces to assemble. There's January is snowballs for sale, and the little hearts are for February. The pot of gold is March. The flower pots are May. Beach balls are June. Watermelon and star, July. Apples are August. The acorns and leaves are September. Then there's October for the ghosts. The turkey is November. And the tree with the packages is December. So it's on a magnetic stand. You can use it as an easel, or it has a hook on the back that you can hang it on the wall. We can send you a kit if you would like to receive one. This is something else that we just did this last month in the class. The ribbon and twine that is kind of laying over the top of that is so that this is a wall hanging so that you can hang it on the wall. This is a pocket where it says September. That is a pocket. And inside the pocket are 2 sheets of cardstock that say birthdays and anniversaries. And the list goes from 1 to 31 so that you can write out the person's birthday on the day of the month that it falls. You can hang this up and use it, change it out every month. This is authentic paper. And we have these little sayings at the bottom are strung up so that they hang. So every now and then we just kind of go off the page. Then one of the things also I want to talk to you about is we do have retreats twice a year. We've had some 3 times a year because the attendance was a little more than we had anticipated. So we go to Lake Donovan Resort. We are having a small retreat because of COVID-19. It's hard to have retreats. So once we can social distance and get all of that done. And then also now with our new crop space, we will be having a crop once a month. We have partnered up with Hampton Inn, which is 4 blocks from here, so that you can book rooms, or I can book rooms for you. And you can, if you would like, if you're out of town and you'd like to come in, you can book the room, call me, we'll make arrangements. And we'll get you in the hotel, and you can come here and crop Friday and Saturday. And spend the weekend sleeping at the hotel and spend the weekend cropping here. All right, so that pretty well does it. These are some other things that we've done. We have kits for all of these. This is our project display. We did tags for Halloween. We've done some fun things for Christmas. This is a little gift bag that we did. These are some Christmas things that we also did. You can put hot chocolate and marshmallows inside that bag that has a snowman on it. And then we have kits for hand sanitizers. I don't know if you can see that. It's a real fun project. This back here is a cup holder for styrofoam cups because everybody has styrofoam cups. You can put hot chocolate and marshmallows inside those cups. And then we made this little kit. We saw this one time online and thought it was adorable, but it's a Chex Mix that Santa checks his list twice. Thank you for this time. We appreciate it. Hope to see you guys if you ever come out this way. We'd love to see you. You guys have a great evening.